Esspee was founded in 1968, traditionally a family business. Our involvement commenced in 2011. At that time the business was turning over just less than £1 million, employing 15 people. Previously it had invested quite a bit, albeit that was 10 or 15 years prior, in capital equipment, and it was in desperate need of some new investment. And in the past 5 years we've invested just shy of £1 million, and we've taken the workforce from 15 to just over 40 now. We had a record year last year. We exceeded £5 million turnover, and 30% of which was overseas export. And our biggest territory overseas, you'll be delighted to hear, is China. So our most recent challenge, of course, was when we were reaching capacity on our old equipment, and we knew at that point in time that we needed to invest heavily in new machinery. And that's the first point that we started looking at Biesse. We previously purchased a beam saw and a reasonably high-speed router from Biesse in a previous business which had performed very well, so we knew the quality of the product was going to be there. However, what we needed to understand was where our capability gap was and what were the requirements of the business both now and also to give us scale, and what products Biesse had that could then complement those, so we weren't just buying the need for now, we were buying for the future needs of the business.
We bought in the Biesse beam saw to replace an aging piece of kit to provide us with an additional cut height of 100mm, which was important to us, and to give us the speeds and the feeds and the quality that we required to move forward, and which increases our productivity by 50–75%.
So there were two distinct areas that we looked at. Most of our machines are fed having our product at the raw material stage cut on a flatbed or a beam saw. And we already had a pretty effective beam saw, but this was one of our bottlenecks. And we were able to purchase the new Biesse beam saw, which has increased our capacity through that bottleneck by double, which has allowed the feed to our CNC machining centres and our CNC lathes to be infinitely scaled up. And of course, what people who aren't in our industry probably don't understand is the complexity and the range of materials that we manufacture. Some of our materials go from 300 kilogram density right up to 2,500 kilogram density. So that means that we need variable speed on our blade and also on our travel. And if you think about the abrasive nature of the materials that we're cutting, that we need to then make sure that all the process controls and the equipment then can withstand the elements that come off those machines as we process them. So our production capability, we have about 25 workstations on the shop floor, and we knew that with the investment we were about to make with Biesse, that adding 3 pieces of equipment would actually allow us to scale up our output by 50%, which is a very, very impressive output indeed. This has allowed us to effectively task our workforce to go out and aggressively seek new business as a contribution to our overhead and fill our machines. It's one of the key features that we look for in any capital investment we make, is what ultimately is our ROI going to be for the business. And without doubt, Biesse has enabled us to increase our ROI significantly. Further to the commissioning of all the equipment, which was done in an outstanding and very capable manner, having the Biesse equipment has enabled us to open up new markets and new territories. In particular with blue chip organisations, they can now see that we can compete on a full global scale and have the output capability to be able to do so. I think it's important to point out, from the start of the process of dealing with Biesse, they were an absolute pleasure to deal with. The ease and the simplicity, first of all, the point of contact, then engaging on a consultative basis, which is quite unusual in understanding the needs of our business and our products, but more importantly working over a long period of time. What the requirements of our business would require from Biesse was very important to us, and we really appreciated the consultative approach.